this society can rationalize all of the violence and all of the dehumanization and all the economic and ecological destruction that we're contributing to. And if it can rationalize all that, how do we create a new language to counter that? I think that's only going to happen through creative practices. And that's what a lot of vets are trying to figure out. To hold a conversation. And I just want to hold a space for that commonality to be shared across difference, across violence, across racism, across war. That's what I'm trying to do in this project. Tea came out of my deployment to Iraq in 2003 and 2004. I was a truck driver on many of these missions. The Kuwaitis, the Iraqis, the third country nationals would offer myself and my fellow soldiers tea, and we always refused. I went on a return trip to Iraq to attend a labor conference, and this gentleman stood up and then just started kind of booking it down towards the stage, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but I had a lot of guilt, and I kind of just assumed he was coming up to, punch me or harm me or assault me in some way. As he was coming up on stage, he just said, "I just want to come up on stage and give this gentleman a hug," and he grabbed me and he hugged me. And I started crying. I had gone back to Iraq, not as a soldier, but as a representative of the peace movement. And I went back to apologize, but not to be forgiven, but to take responsibility. And so they whisked me to the side and they sat me down and they made me tea. And of course I, accepted, and that's when I began to realize how important it was to accept that offer. I share stories, but they're really prompts to solicit other people's stories and experiences so people can begin to hear them collectively and start creating their own narrative about how these things relate. It's not about telling them, oh, this is how this is connected. It's about demonstrating it. It's about sharing those histories, whether it's the history of POWs in the United States during World War II, our history of detainment and detention. It's all these histories, how they relate and how they're still existing today in this moment. I think it's a really human response to violence and trauma, this need to create something after being a part of destroying something. What I find is that, it's doing that alone, even if you're able to, break through barriers and connect with local communities, it's never as powerful as when you're doing it with other people.